remember it was a beautiful day, as all sports days are, most of the time anyway, because they're all held in the summer. So at this stage, the sports day was held outside the assembly hall, which was basically facing the street that I lived in. 'Cause I lived within 30 seconds of Cricket Primary School in Tracy Close. So we're all sitting, we benches. It isn't like the way it is now, and it was, and it's all organised, and there's like classes. It was just basically, you grab a spoon, grab an egg, and it wasn't a plastic egg, it was a big heavy thing, and whatever. And the reason why I chose Gerald Tollerton for me was because I knew that I was going to win the sprint races because it was faster than everybody. But when it came to like the wheelbarrow race, and I knew that I needed that to sort of become like the sort of cricket champion, and Gerald just lifted me up. my hands never even touched the ground. He just carried me to the end, 50 meters down the line, sort of thing. So won a few races anyway, and everything was great. But then I looked over at the fence, which was beside the school path leading down to our street, and there was a wee face, and I was going, that's my brother, and he was up against the fence, looking and watching his brother doing all these races and stuff. And I went, Miss Wilson, what? My brother's out there on the school path. And that's him over there on the fence. And Mrs. Wilson went, go and get him. Go and get him. So I went out. Remember the wee dander up the school towards the gates and down. And went, Robert, come on, you can come with me. And I brought him in, and like he was 4 at the time. I was 6. Maybe he was 4.5, and he sat down on one of the big long wooden benches, and he watched the last of the sports day and stuff. And then Mrs. Wilson came down and said, "That's sports day over," and I went, "Oh," and she says, "So Robert's going to have to go home," and I started crying, and I went, "No, but I can't send him home," and this is one of the best things that ever happened to me in school ever. I mean, I don't even know whether it's happened to any other, person ever, but it is definitely unique. But Mrs. Wilson actually said, "Okay, bring Robert into the class, with you." And so, I mean, we only had like 30 minutes or whatever to go, before the end of school. But at the same time, she allowed my wee brother to come in and sit beside me at my desk and watch me writing H's with the big long H and whatever. And I can't actually remember his sort of what he did at that. I just remember him being there, and me being all happy, like happy that she hadn't sent him home, and that, from standing outside looking through because he was too young to go to school at that time, and for him to be looking through the railings and watching me racing and being all proud, and then coming in and sitting beside me and then going to class afterwards, it's such a memory, and what has often been said, and this is not to because I know everyone's probably going, and maybe getting a wee bit emotional by that, but as has been said on more than one occasion, it was he was 4 and he was standing outside the school railings watching his brother, competing at where was his mommy and daddy, and even to go on in with me bringing him into the classroom with me, with Mrs. Wilson allowing, allowing him to come with me. That must have taken like about 3 hours, where my parents, my mum and dad, his mum and dad, would have noticed him missing, gone, and then someone said, I think they were actually probably creating Karen at the time, and I'm going, stop that! I don't want that in my head. Thank you very much. But there were brilliant times, absolutely brilliant. So Grace, thank you so much, wee darling, for putting that wee notion in my head, because it kind of took me back to that time. And there are more Craig or Primary recollections, but that one was really, really special, and for anybody else, as I say, everybody has been sending really lovely positive messages about these wee blogs and stuff, because I don't know, some people are getting things out of them, and I'm not doing them to dictate anything, or for anything to be sort of, this is the way you have to do this, whatever. I'm doing it because I'm looking at myself in a camera and having a 20-minute conversation with myself because I'm by myself. So, it helps me, it helps me immensely. So if it helps you too, all the best. That's the best thing, whatever. But so this was a little impromptu one tonight. I guess there's going to be a lot more of them. So whenever I say there's not going to be a Harv vlog until tomorrow night, you'll probably see it tonight. But anyway, glasses on, just like Mrs. Wilson put on. I'm going to do a big H. And the big H is going to stand for, I was going to say hello, but it's actually goodbye. What does H stand for whenever you're saying bye-bye about anything? Don't know. Doesn't matter. Arrivederci. Look after yourselves. Have a good Tuesday. And I hope you enjoyed those little stories, and that there'll be more of them. Okay? Good night. Or good morning.